Good morning, warriors. How are we doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. This is September 8th, 2022. And hope you guys are on your plan, your purpose. And it's going to be a great day today. I'm at like 800. I was checking this morning. 826 days of, and my thing is knocking around here, 826 days of NoFap, and let's see, I think it's like 67 days of monk mode. So we're kind of getting back into the rhythm a little bit. Once again, as we talk about this all the time, we kind of talk about this more as a lifestyle. This is really kind of a lifestyle. I think a few of the viewers have mentioned that over the time, and they're exactly right. This is not something you just do and then stop it. Now, like I said, the reason I always keep track is because I kind of want to kind of see how far I can go for this one time. But the second thing is also just to kind of let you guys know that it can be done, and there are some great benefits, and that's kind of what I'm going to focus on. So once again, shout outs to Ricky GS97, Zachary, Zayed, thank you for your great comments. As always, Abstract 10,050, Curvy, Young Minds, a lot of these are great ones. I want to focus on a nice comment today from, or at least question and comment, from Mountainwolf. So shout out to Mountainwolf today, and hope you guys are doing well and continue to do well as well on your journey. So he's talking about female attraction, and we made a bunch of different videos on this, but I always like talking about this one. Primarily because I struggled with this a lot when I was younger. I think part of the issue that you have is that we're brought up in this blue matrix in society. What I mean by that is that for a lot of reasons that are, to my mind, a lot of evil ones type of reasons, there's things behind the scenes here that create a certain type of issue. And I think it's affected men and women, actually. I think when you talk about boys, they're brought up and trying to be, tough soldiers or athletes, or, people who are just not very emotional, very tough-minded. And so they're the ones who have to go out and gather the food and things like that. And so and that's even changing now itself, and that type of thing. But part of it is that then the girls are brought up with this kind of princess mode, and so they expect then to be having that type of thing. Their prince is going to come and treat them well, all this kind of stuff. And so this society kind of goes into two different directions. So when you look at men and women, you're looking at women, in a sense, basically saying that, okay, I need to focus on my attraction so I can attract a prince as they're younger. And I've had two daughters brought up, and that's, it's obvious that that's kind of the case. And then a lot of them start talking about boys at the ages 10, 12, 11 years old. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that's kind of one of the purposes. And then the second thing is that the males are looking for how much they can do and perform. And so as a result of this, you have a real dynamic situation there, that men are looking for one type of thing and women are tend to look for another type of thing. So how does this affect attraction and semen retention? Well, of course, what ends up happening then is that men tend to, because they focus on this so much and they think about this so much, they become kind of like in desperate mode, that they have to have this type of attraction. And it's been exaggerated a lot by the media, especially with the internet and allowing people to kind of put anything they want to on the media. And so now what ends up happening is you have all this pornography, all this other types of images, which is showing what a lot of these men are really wanting. And so even though it's a fantasy type of thing, just like the movies and things like that, it's not something that is out of disbelief. And so a lot of males will do this. I mean, they may not want to actually get together with a female because they don't want to have a relationship, or they necessarily don't want to have children or get a disease or anything like that. So they kind of stay away from the actual idea of it, but then they go into the actual pictures and things that they feel are less harming. But what I found out, and what a lot of people are finding out, is that this is even more dangerous, what you're doing, because you're creating a whole mindset of looking at women in this case as objects. And this is not a good thing, because they're human beings like everybody is, and you need to kind of treat them more like human beings. So as we go into this type of situation, and I think Mountainwolf makes a great kind of comment on this, you're at a point where the type of man that most women are dealing with is, I would refer to as a beta male. Not necessarily their fault. Some of it is, some of it's not. They don't decide to change, yes, but they may not even be aware of it. They brought up in society or an environment in which they were, very weak, not very strong, too emotional, all these type of things. They couldn't make decisions and have any kind of leadership decisions. And so they didn't have really a strength that someone could depend on. And I mean, you go back to the old days, and I don't think it's changed that much. It may change in the way people describe it and talk about it, but there's a certain level of security that women are comfortable with when it comes to a male. And so if you don't have that, you become, like this desperate type of person. And the more desperate you become, the more you could become like a creep or things like that. And this is where a lot of the opposite stuff happens. You want attraction, you want women to like you. You get the opposite result because you're thirsting so much for, intercourse, things like that. However, if you go on a retention streak, now you're taking the opposite approach. Now you're basically saying, this is not that important to me anymore. And because that's not that important to you, now all of a sudden the females who wanted your attention, and a lot of females like attention, right? They all of a sudden now are asking what happened. This is also happening with the MGTOW movement as well, is you're looking at women who are now puzzled and confused, saying, well, they're used to this princess mentality that the men should be chasing them and they get to choose which male that they want to have. Well, that's not the case anymore. And what's happening now is that you're looking at males who are choosing to go away from that. And retention is another one of the versions of those type of things, in which you're trying not to kind of release your energy. And because of that, you're now becoming a stronger human being, which means now you can actually go ahead and really kind of reflect and make decisions on people that you really want to be with. And you can say no. Just because someone is showing you a naked picture, or someone is being naked in front of you, doesn't necessarily have to mean you have to do something. And I think you can actually have that ability if you don't have that thirsty, desperate type of thing where you have to have some sort of intercourse, or you just don't feel like you're a man. And I think this is where that mentality comes in. It's been played up by the media that you're not a man if you don't do these kind of things. Well, in reality, it's the opposite, as most things are in our society that we see. And when you talk about this type of thing, the attraction level goes right through the roof. I see it, and I'm 61 years old, so I see it every day. To me, it happens at least 3 or 4 times a day. Now, it may be in a sense of a woman treating you nicely, very nicely, over nicely. Did you notice it? It may be a wink. It may actually be a hug. It may be something where that person actually flirts with you. Now, in my case, like I said, I'm not interested in that. So to my mind, I want to achieve a bunch of different things, and so that's my priority. And I have a wonderful wife that I'm not really interested in all of that kind of stuff. That's not my purpose. But a lot of you guys in your 20s and 30s and 40s, yes, you are interested in that kind of stuff, and that should be a good priority. But once again, make a wise decision, because with the attraction, Mountainwolf, what comes with that is high responsibility. You have to kind of decide, okay, who am I really going to share energy with? I lost my picture there for a second. Who am I going to actually share my my thing with? And I think that's a key type of thing. if who am I sharing my energy with is a key factor to what you want to do. And I think as you look at this, when you look at trying to decide, you kind of have to make a decision based on overall type of purpose. Is this a person who is going to kind of benefit me? Am I going to be able to create a win-win situation where this person's actually somebody that's going to be positive in my life? Sorry about that. I'm losing my thing here. I'm bouncing around. But that's a key type of thing. So as I look at this, I think it's kind of important to look at this whole idea of attraction, realize that it is a very nice thing. It's something you're not used to. I think a lot of males are not used to this. I mean, this is really the way life should be. Females should be the ones attracted to males. Males should be attracted to females, and it should be a kind of a common type of thing. But what ends up happening is we've kind of bridged the gap and changed the ideas of how things should operate. And because of that, what ends up happening is that people tend to not kind of see the same things in the same way. And so females are looking at males as almost like, well, I should have a pick of who I want. Now, and when the females are in their 20s, yeah, I mean, they're younger. I mean, and realistically, they're fertile more. They're able to, men look at that, and that's important, right? But the thing is that as they get older, they lose that ability. And some people say they hit this wall, whatever the wall is, but the wall is something where, now they don't have as much attraction. And so now it's a different type of situation. So I think it's a very interesting type of situation we have. I think it's bouncing all over the place here. I've been bouncing all over the place. But I think the key is going to be really going back to how you view your situation and how you view using this attraction. But Mountainwolf, you're exactly right. It is incredible. It's something that will hit you, and it still amazes me after all these years that that's still the case. But what you really see, and what I really see is something that is really very apparent, is that males and females look at physical qualities a lot different. This is what's been apparent to me, because I think that males, because they have the ability to, have this energy forever, and a long time, they're at a point where they're not necessarily going to get diminished in their attraction. In fact, as they look at attraction, I got to put my thing down a little bit here. As they go down in attraction, as they raise up an attraction, they're always going to be attractive. In fact, the looks are not that important when you survey females and talk with females about this. It's not as important. It really is more of ability and that energy. So what they get attracted by is that energy. Now, they may not say that. It's more of a subconscious type of thing, but they're looking for that. Now, males, obviously, they're looking for, a mate. They're looking for somebody, if you look at it in kind of the cold-hearted type of barbarian type of terms here, they're looking for a mate. Males are looking for somebody who can take care of their children, have children, things like that. And so that's kind of what they're looking for as qualities. Now, this may be all on a subconscious level, but it's still something that makes a big impact on what a person decides in a certain type of situation. So when it comes to attraction, you have a lot of factors. But I think Mountainwolf, from a flattery standpoint, and just the fact to know that you as a male, you always will have that attraction. You should always have that attraction. Now, if you're throwing your energy away all the time, like a lot of people do, well, you're not gonna be as attractive on a consistent basis. You'll have your moments, but you won't have that same ability. But once you start retaining, all of a sudden now you're getting at full strength, and that's when you can actually have a lot of impact on people around you. Males and females will treat you much better. You will get some people who are upset and jealous and mad, and they're just going to react like that because that's the way they react. But for the most part, you're going to get people who are going to be very pleasant to you, respect you, actually flirt with you if you're female. All those things will happen to you because they sense that great energy, and they figured out, well, what's happening to this person? Why do they have that kind of energy compared to somebody else that doesn't have that type of energy? So, all right, my friends. Well, we've kind of moved around a lot of different difficulties here to get this done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and continue on the channel. I hope everything's going to be a great day today. Mountainwolf, once again, thank you. Shout out to Ricky GS97 again, Zachary, Zayed. Great comments. I appreciate those. The main thing, my friends, is to keep on your purpose. All these things are wonderful and great, but the real key point is to make sure that you continue to move on your journey, that you continue to get better and continue to be excellent along the way as I bounce along here today. All right, my friends, have a great day and continue to move forward. God bless each and every one of you, and battle on.